just a hack. He's just an absolute hack. And he gets his ass kicked by his teammates every week. It's just, it's terrible. It's just terrible.
Is there like a motorcycle going on back there?
Here's
a lot
the
of noise. I was about to start and I hear, it was either your stomach or a motorcycle.
Oh, nice. Funny guy. Here's what happens where I live, Joe. Every day, midday, right? So from the hours of 11 to 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
A fire truck and an ambulance will pass by blaring sirens. Someone's always got a fire. Someone's always injured. And it's probably just a microwave popcorn from this big ass apartment complex right down the road. But every day, like clockwork, that passes by. And then every night around this time, you'll get one motorcycle guy and you'll get one Supra with some loud exhaust that comes by. So it fluctuates. Most of the time it's quiet, but I don't mind the noise of the road. It's like a good white noise for me to fall asleep to.
Yeah, that's real pleasant white noise. A blaring siren and a loud Supra. I would argue where I'm at is probably quieter than Virginia. Nonetheless, not to go too far down that rabbit hole, Joe DeLeone, Sean Anderson, two former college football players from the University of Rhode Island. We're here on Hack City. We've got yet another FCS conference preview. This is the last one we're going to do for the conferences specifically. We'll do some positional previews for specific guys at the FCS level. The next show is going to be our first group of 5 conference previews. So we're going to dive into that. Something new that we're doing this year. SoCon today is what we're doing. There is a massive fly that just landed on my equipment. I'm sorry. I'm very easily distracted. Sean, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. John Rahm, good Masters win today. Israel Adesanya, good win last night. Joe, good attempt at getting that fly.
I'm not going to get it.
I'm excited. Because do I want to make the announcement right now off the top?
What, that you're coming out here to California for a week?
California. I have a big Yahoo Sports Cinco de Mayo party, so I'm going to be out there with them for, just shake some hands, have a good time, and then get right back on the road. I'll be out there, Joe. We'll see how it goes.
Why are you saying it like that?
We'll see how it goes. I don't know Joe's couch situation. I might be.
I have an air mattress. I got a good setup. Yeah. Oh, I'm not. You're not sleeping on this couch. This is a nice couch. You're not sleeping on it.
Are you? Oh, time out.
What?
I know we're doing a show.
Yeah.
But are you being serious?
Yeah. Why? If I have an air mattress, why wouldn't you sleep on? You're not going to fit on the couch. First of all. Second of all, it's a nice couch. I don't want to ruin the couch. You're going to sleep on the air mattress.
How would I ruin the couch? Is it a leather couch?
No, it's a fabric couch.
Oh, okay. How would I ruin the couch?
You're dirty and you smell.
Both are true. Untrue. Both are untrue. At this current moment, yes. But before sleep time, I take a nice thorough shower.
Okay. You're still not sleeping on the couch. You're going to sleep on the air mattress.
I'll be damned.
No one sleeps on the couch. What
do you mean no one?
For me, sometimes I sleep on it, but that's besides the point. It doesn't matter. I have an air mattress, so don't.
I don't want the air mattress.
You're going to sleep on the air mattress. You're not going to fit on the bed or not on the couch.
I'll fit in that bed.
You're not sleeping in my bed like you used to try to do in college. You sick weirdo.
Look, here's what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
You should have never told me I can't sleep on the couch.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
You
I realize that now.
The couch is
was
uncomfortable. You should have said, "Hey, I got this couch. It's just not great for sleeping." Now I know that I can't sleep on the couch because you're forbidding it. I have to.
The biggest problem too is the couch is actually it's quite comfortable to sleep on. I sleep on it often because sometimes this fly is ballsy. There's no air conditioning in my bedroom, so sometimes if it gets too hot, I sleep in the living room on the couch because there is air conditioning.
Sounds like nice living conditions.
It is.
I can't wait to be there for 6 days. Here's what I'm going to say, Joe. What if I put a sheet down over the couch?
You could probably pass for that. That'd be fine. But again, I don't know why you wouldn't want to sleep on the air mattress.
I think that's normal procedure. Maybe I don't want to sleep on the air mattress. Maybe I want to sleep on the couch.
Although now that I think about it, your legs would be hanging off of the end of the air mattress.
They most likely would be. My legs hang off of a queen size bed. So,
all right. Well, we'll see. We'll end up figuring it out. The trip will be fun. We're gonna have a good time. We'll probably tape a show or two. We'll
Or
try to tape
2.
one from the office so that you can check out the studio and see what Believe is like. But no, I think it'll be a fun time.
It'll be exciting. And I'll say this. I had a huge debate over the weekend, and I will say I think California cracked my top 15 states.
Really?
I think they landed at 15.
For as much as a hater you are for California, that means you're coming around, because I think previously in the past you would have placed that at 50 or 49.
They landed at 15. I got to give the sports team success a nod. Joe, on the spot right now, 15 states. Your top 15.
I'm not
top
ranking,
15, just real quick. I did it in less than a minute, really quickly.
New Jersey. I don't even think I've been to 15 states. New Jersey.
1.
Massachusetts. No, not Massachusetts. No. It's too high. I don't know why I said
it doesn't have to.
New Jersey,
New
Jersey, Pennsylvania. I will say Virginia is nice. Oh no, wait. New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Connecticut. Virginia. Yeah, Connecticut's nice. I've been around Connecticut a little bit. Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, Rhode Island. What am I up to right now? You're 10. Ohio, Indiana.
Indiana.
Ohio. Indiana's great. Indiana's got some good stuff.
You got no SEC states right now. You're at 10.
I haven't been to enough. Let's go Florida.
Okay, 11.
Again, I have not been to that many. Let's throw Texas in there.
12.
Let's throw in North Carolina.
Okay, 13.
We'll throw in Alabama. I've been to
14.
Alabama.
All right.
I'd probably put California at 15.
15.
California is a necessary evil. I've said this before. I am here primarily because of work. The amount that I pay for rent and just to breathe is obscene. But it does have its perks. Like, I live near the beach. Like, I can't complain about stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I went down the East Coast. I think I went Virginia, New York. Rhode Island was in my 15. Both the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee was in there. Texas is in there. I had Arkansas in there because of the Ozarks, and I always want to go fishing there. Arizona was in my top 15 because it's just got to be gorgeous. It just has to be. Colorado in my 15.
No, wait. Have you ever been to Arizona?
No. But
Arizona sucks. Arizona's overrated.
Arizona doesn't have daylight savings time. So that gives it major points for me.
It is unbelievably overrated. It is dry. It is uncomfortable. It is hot. And there is not crap to do. Arizona is one of the most overrated states I've ever been to.
Oh, you've been to Arizona recently, I believe, right?
I've been twice in the past year. Went for the Fiesta Bowl and I went for the Super Bowl for media coverage, and it sucks. It's overpriced. It's a dump, frankly.
I think I had Massachusetts was the state we were arguing about. I think I have to put Massachusetts in there because I've had very good times in Boston.
Massachusetts is okay.
I had Pennsylvania in mine also. I had Pennsylvania in there. You just got to respect it.
Yeah, 'cause the thing with Pennsylvania, you go to some of the best golf I've played is in the Poconos. There are so many, and you'll pay $20 for 18 holes, and then another 20 for a golf cart, and you'll have the best round of golf that you've ever played. It is nothing like it. That was a big reason why I would put that high.
Gotcha. Yeah, rounding out, I think, one of the big sky states probably would be there. I just got to go there and experience it.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I forgot to put South Dakota in there.
Seeing what Sean Antoine was doing out there and in the mountains and seeing all that.
I think I would I would bump North Carolina out for South Dakota. I don't know why
that's a stupid call. You got to keep North Carolina in there.
No, I'm not. North Carolina sucked.
The Outer Banks.
I've never been.
Greenville, so all the colleges. North Carolina's got to stay in.
Considering how hard it was to get out of the airport, I prefer. I would.
It was tough with your free 45-minute Uber there.
It was tough when I had to walk across a lawn that was not supposed to be walked across to find you.
Oh, hey Jack. By the way, you're picking me up from LAX.
Yeah, I live right by the airport, and my office is by the airport.
Sure. That was actually in my rider per my parents. They said, "Hey, Joe's picking you up, right?" I'm like, "Yeah."
I wouldn't do that to you because, admittedly, Ubers around here. Not to waste too much time here, we're going to get into the preview in a quick second. Ubers around here are surprisingly deceptively cheap. Deceptively cheap.
Really?
It's like a $10 Uber to get from where I am
that's
to
so
where
nice.
most of the bars are. Like
What about
most
like a
of all
late
the
night
good
Uber
bars.
back? Well, late night Uber back. What's that maxing
I
out?
have
Like
not
30?
spent more than $15.
Oh,
It's because I'm in a good location where I'm not traveling that far. But even
okay.
if we went a little bit deeper, it would be a $20 Uber.
Dude.
It's deceptively cheap. But the problem is LAX. It is close. It is a 10-minute drive. $70, $80 sometimes. I have had to eat it every single time I've come back from the airport.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I've bodied more $45 Ubers back from DC. It's tough. I think I'm keeping the DC cab industry alive because I'll just be there on the corner on my phone, and then somebody will roll up to me and say, "Hey, where are you going?" I'm like, "Hey, do you know this is DC and we're not in Manhattan?" He's like, "Yeah, I know. Where are you going?" I'm like, "Okay, cool. At least I get the ride now at a little bit less of a price." Whatever. That's boring talk.
Yes.
Do you want to get into the SoCon, Joe?
Yeah, let's get into the SoCon. Last throwaway point, by the way. My girlfriend wanted me to not tell you about the hot dog carts that they have outside of the bars, but I already told you about that a while ago.
Okay, here's the thing. I've
Yeah.
been tracking my ballpark glizzies this year. I've been to 2 games so far.
Okay.
First game, 1 glizzy. Second game, 2 pre-ballpark glizzies. So I'm at 3. I'm counting that. And I think I had 1 in the stadium. So I had 4 total hot dogs so far this year for the Nationals.
Okay.
Hopefully I can get some more out in LA.
There is 2 bars that we're going to go to that have the little, it's not even a cart. It's a little grill that sits outside of these. And the same guy owns all of them. I've talked to the guy before.
Dude.
Nicest guy ever. He's like, I own them outside of all the bars in Santa Monica and Venice. And they wrap them in whatever. There's onions and stuff on them. You have to, I've never had one, but you need to have one.
What do you mean you've never had one? Are you going to have one?
I have a little more self-control, and I usually end up venturing over to the food truck that.
What do you get from the food truck that's better than a street hot dog?
Quesadilla.
No, that's so weak.
What? No, it's not weak. All right, Sean, let's talk about the SoCon.
You know what? Quesadillas can only be so good. They can only. There's a low ceiling on the quesadilla. Very high floor.
That's not
low
true.
Ceiling. Low ceiling, high floor.
No, because you're not in California where the Mexican food is. It's elite no matter where you stop. There is not a bad place for Mexican food here. It's hard to explain. You'll see when you get here. Let's talk about the SoCon. Sean, last year, this conference had some quality teams, some competitive teams, some good athletes that are going to be a part of this year's NFL draft. One in particular who I believe should be drafted relatively highly in McClendon Curtis. But at the same time, the SoCon has underwhelmed a little bit once we get to the playoffs. Nonetheless, there's 4 teams for me that I have my eye on for next year that we should be paying attention to heading into 2023. Samford, who was 11-2 and was the best team, put up some great games, and we had high expectations for them against North Dakota State. But Quincy Critterton, who stepped in for Michael Ayers, could not get the job done, as we made fun of his goofy name on this show multiple times. Wait, what was the? Oh my God! Wait, what was the name that we had for him instead of Quincy Critterton? We called him something else.
Was it QC? I think I was calling him QC.
No,
I was calling him QC.
I called him something obnoxious. It was I'm going to remember this by the end of the show. Furman was 10-3 by the at the end of the season. A little not as exciting of a Furman team as we're used to, but still a good Furman team. I remember the one Furman fan who kept chirping us on a week-to-week basis. That guy has real estate in my head. I'm going to admit it. You own a piece of my brain right now with the way that you came at me every single week. Ryan Miller is gone, though. He is heading to the NFL draft. Chattanooga was 7-4. They are losing McClendon Curtis, Devontae Maxwell, and so forth. And then Mercer, who is 7-4. Sean, I want to start off with Samford here. My main big thing with them is that Michael Ayers is returning. This is a guy who could have jumped in the portal. This is somebody who could have gone and played at the group of 5 level, maybe even a small power 5. He's a really good quarterback. He's a very good player. I'm excited to get some eyes on him as an NFL draft prospect, and I'm going to watch him and evaluate him amongst this group of FCS guys that I'm tracking very closely. But he is deservedly so going to be on so many lists for top returning quarterbacks this upcoming season. He is that good of a player and should be on the watch list for the Walter Payton. That's how good this guy is. Before we continue on with this video, I just want to tell you folks about an exciting new partnership that we have with this channel with Underdog Fantasy. Ever since I joined, I've been having so much fun. There are so many different exciting games that make watching games during the offseason more exciting. I'm not the biggest basketball fan, but it has made it way more entertaining since I found Underdog Fantasy. And my favorite game to play so far, which I think you should try out, is Pick'em. It is so easy to play. Just pick higher or lower on your favorite player's stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. Underdog keeps it simple with their easy-to-use website and mobile apps. Pick between 2 and 5 players to fill out your Pick'em slip, get every pick right, and take home some cold hard cash. Use code HACK, H-A-C-K, HACK, like the name of this channel. Use code HACK to get your first deposit doubled up to $100 by Underdog. Go sign up. You won't regret it. You're going to have a blast. Check out Underdog Fantasy. I also want to tell you folks about our other recurring sponsor that we have on this channel, that being BetOnline, betonline.ag, which has all the updated odds, news, and anything for sports betting. It's my go-to source for when I want to be betting specifically on games. I love betting on college basketball or the NBA. Especially, again, during the offseason, always looking for more fun ways to be focused in on some of these other sports. It's betonline.ag and use promo code BELIEVE50. It's promo code BELIEVE50 to get 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Yeah, I'm watching some of his film right now. The video that I'm watching right now is the FCS Josh Allen fire emoji, Michael Ayers 2022 highlights.
Who posted that?
I'm glad you asked. That's California highlights, but California with a K.
Ah, yes, the K was necessary. It wasn't Jonathan Ayers or something like that.
No. This is actually a produced highlight reel opposed to the Dominic Robertos, which I'll get to. Thank you for posting all the highlights, but those are a little different of the production values. Ayers is talented. He has a strong arm, and he seems to be very comfortable throwing his receivers open. He's comfortable. I've watched stupid Matt Ryan underthrow Julio Jones for 15 years in the NFL. I watched it. I watched what touchdowns that could have been turned into 40-yard chunk plays. No one should ever be mad about a deep ball caught, but real football fans should be mad when they see a deep ball that should have been caught for a touchdown, hit the receiver in stride. That's what Michael Ayers is doing. In what I'm watching right now, whether it's, okay, cool, there's a great halfback wheel play where, okay, you see the entire line, they're in they're pass pro to the right. It's not a heavy pass pro. It doesn't look like it's third and long situation. And he's sitting back, and just casually, boom, flicks it. Just a nice little flick. Running back right in stride. It's perfect. That's all. That's almost all I need to see. And I'll dive into it and see where he's messed up before, because every quarterback does. But that highlight is almost enough for me to see, okay, look at this. Boom. Flick. He's wide open. Pitch and catch. Give me a quarterback that can pitch and catch. Run the offense, call the plays, make adjustments if you need to. But if you are able to pitch and catch, and he can do that. So it's a good returner, and I think Samford with him at the helm should be the favorite going into next year.
Actually, to double check here and circle back on Ayers. So actually, I don't think he could have transferred. So one thing that gets a little complex with a lot of these guys, and David Walker from Central Arkansas is another one of these players who is really freaking good. Like, he's going to get drafted highly. Michael Ayers is not going to get drafted as high as David Walker.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a hot take. But the thing with David Walker is he transferred up from a Division II program. And Michael Ayers transferred from Northwest Mississippi Community College after he started his career at Murray State. So that means, I believe, I don't understand the transfer rules anymore. I'm going to be completely blunt about it. They are so overtly complicated these days. But I believe if you transfer once, you can't transfer up without having to sit. So I think that might be to the benefit of Samford that they're keeping around Michael Ayers. And again, the guy's just got a really good natural arm. He had a couple of receivers last year who put up some pretty big stats who, thanks to Samford for updating their roster, I have no idea if they're coming back or not. If they're gone, thanks Samford. But
yeah, to
really
SIDs, it takes, get the young guys on it. It'll take them 8 hours max. And then everybody has access to what they need access to. They don't need to be they don't need to be doing what they're doing. They need to update the roster. That's what you need your young guys in your facility to do.
I know some of them are spread a little thin, and I'll give
They
them a little
can be.
credit.
I understand.
Just if a guy's not there for winter workouts, just take them off. Just take them off. Just because it makes our lives a little bit easier. We want to give you guys coverage, but
please.
To that point, the guys that he did that helped produce productive seasons, big reason why was because of Michael Ayers. So we're going to be talking about Michael Ayers a ton on this show this season. I'm willing to bet that's going to be the case. Sean Furman, who we've disrespected consistently on this show.
Oh, I don't think I have. Don't make this a we here now.
They're losing Ryan Miller, who was their, I guess he was an H-back. I don't know if I want to really call him a tight end because he wasn't built like a tight end. He was an H-back. He was a receiver, offensive weapon. He is no longer there. That is going to be a pretty significant hit. Tyler Huff is also not returning according to the roster. I'm going to find out from our Furman fanatic in the comments. Well, Tyler Huff actually got a medical red shirt back in 2014, so he's eligible to return. They do have some good guys, though, coming back. You pointed out Dominic Roberto, who's really good running back. They've got Jakob Johanning. That's definitely not how you pronounce his name, but I'm just going to go with that.
I think you took a good, noble effort at that.
His name is definitely Jacob Johanning, but I'm going with Jakob Johanning because it sounds way cooler than Jacob. Their starting center was in Hero Sports All-American for the sophomore grouping. Very, very good football player. And then Bryce McCormick, the linebacker, was one of their top defensive players who's coming back. So they've got a balanced team. I have question marks on what can they do outside of running the football, knowing that this has been a very run-centric team. We knew what they did with Devin Wynn when he was there a few years ago, and now Roberto's taken over, and he's done a very good job. And what do they do at the quarterback position? Can we throw the ball? Can we air the ball out the way that we did last year, or is this going to be a very run-heavy offense? And are we going to struggle because we can't throw the ball as effectively?
Well, you know the answer to that. But the good thing is Dominic Roberto gave him 1,150 yards on the ground and 11 touchdowns last year. I like him. He is 5'11", 230. We'll see what he comes in at next year, but he should stay at that weight. He's fast enough to outrun DBs that take bad angles. VMI.
Don't do VMI like that.
Bad angles. Take a better angle. Wonder why you're 0-8 last year. He's not a track hawk, but he's a sturdy runner. When he can get outside of the junk, I think he makes a lot of the right decisions. He follows his blockers well. A lot of these like super speed guys, they outrun their blockers. And when you don't see that as much in the NFL, because these guys, the NFL running backs, if they were doing it in college, they learn pretty quickly, stay behind your blockers because it's a better option for you to break one longer. And I think Roberto does that very well. He's a force. He's got a little bit of that. God, his body reminds me of Lorenzo Bryant's, and nobody's going to understand that reference, but he's got just thick. He's a thick running back.
That makes sense. He's 5'11", 230, and that's what Zoe was listed at. The JMU listeners, Jamie is going to know who Lorenzo Bryant is.
I always I'll lean towards the thick running backs. I will. It's always good to see a more of a slender scat back that can just take the top off. I like the thick back. All right. When I start my peak football fandom, Michael Turner was my hero. So that's who I'm looking for.
Thick thighs save lives.
Just yes. You're such a hack. All hack, no city on this show. Awesome. Yeah. All right, Joe. What's the next team? Because I'm not gonna.
By the way, somebody commented on the center list that Ryan and I did for the 2023 NFL Draft. Someone said, very fitting that this list was posted by Hack City.
Yeah.
So funny. So funny.
What is this, a butt crack sports spinoff?
Sounds like it. Chattanooga at 7-4. Chattanooga's sneaky, man. I thought that Chattanooga was going to be the team to beat last year. And they looked like it for a lot of last season, and then they couldn't finish. They couldn't finish some of these games. And Elam Ford, who I know I'm mispronouncing his name, was out for some spots because of injury, and that's hard to recover from. They're losing McClendon Curtis, who I mentioned. who's going to be, in my opinion, I have him ranked as a top 5 guard in the class. I'm
He's
a
very
really
talented.
big fan of McClendon Curtis because he's such a good athlete. I mean, Coach Rusty even said that McClendon is a better athlete and lineman than Cole Strange, who went in the first round. So good proof there.
He's got his arms are they're freaky arms. It's latch on to you.
Stupid
Good luck.
long.
It's like who's the Zion from BC. His arms are
Zion
very similar.
Johnson.
Yeah, his arms are very similar to Zion Johnson's, where they're long, they're big, and when he gets a hold of you, good luck.
Devontae Maxwell is also gone, who is one of the most productive defensive linemen in the country over the past couple of years. So you're losing him as well. What they do return is Ford, who I mentioned, who is one of the best returning running backs in the country. I think he might get some type of an NFL look. This might be an XFL guy or a USFL guy. And then Reed Williams, one of their starting offensive linemen, nationally recognized guy on a lot of All-American lists or some All-American lists. Sean, I need you to look up Reed Williams for a quick second because he looks how I want my offensive lineman to look. I wouldn't mess with Reed Williams. One of the toughest looking dudes probably in the country. And I haven't like really dove into his film, so I can't sit here and say if he is as good as Cole Strange or McClendon Curtis, but he's probably the next guy up. He's the next guy up, not to maybe get highly drafted, but to be a contributing quality player on that Chattanooga offensive line. You see what I'm talking about? His head, he's so bald. It's great. I love it. He's 20. He's got to be 21. He's got to be 21 years old, and he's bald.
Do you ever get those ads on your Instagram where it's like, here's this best razor for your head. It keeps me bald. It's the best shave. It's not a straight razor. I'm like, no, I have a full head of hair. This is the guy. This is who you need to be targeting with those ads. Not me.
Oh, man.
Oh, good Lord.
I
he looks like the meanest person I've ever seen in my life.
I know.
I'm sure he's nice. He's got a fantastic mean mug. And that's, I mean, good for him. Oh, Joe, why are you doing this?
I'm going to find out that
he's going to kill you. And then me.
Oh, God. Well, regardless, he's a really good offensive lineman. That's all that matters. That's the key thing here with Reed Williams, that he's a fantastic football player. And that's what they're returning. I think that Chattanooga, out of any of these teams, is always going to be a sneaky team to pay attention to for a lot of reasons.
Okay, I'm now watching Reed Williams squat 405 for 4 in high school on Twitter. Thanks, OL Coach 5. Oh, he's moving the weight in high school.
Jeez. 405
for 4. All right, let's go. Fourth rep here. Fourth rep. All right, down and up. He probably could have done 5 or 6. Way to rack it. You're a monster.
I really want to watch this film because I'm curious if maybe he is the next guy up. Maybe that's what the next guy is for Chattanooga in these offensive linemen.
We'll see. I like that the SoCon is putting out more talented players that are getting recognition. It's good. I think McClendon Curtis did them a huge solid. And then every team has a guy, and that's the great thing about the SoCon. Every team has a guy that you can look in on and say, okay, this is our guy. No matter where he goes, he could go somewhere. XFL, CFL, USFL, NFL, wherever. He could go somewhere.
To be a bit more blunt for Mercer, Sean, if any of these teams fall off, I think it's going to be Mercer. Just to be completely direct. They're losing Peyton Turner, not Peyton Turner. Oh my God. Fred Payton is who they're losing.
There you go.
Fred Payton was one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the country at the FCS level last year. We talked about him on a weekly basis. He was a big guy that I brought up when we were doing game by game analysis and saying,
he was very good.
Watch out for him and what he can do. He was also a Tropical Bowl participant. He was that good of a player. He's on NFL radars. I don't know if he sticks anywhere. He probably won't. Might get an XFL, USFL shot, but he was still a massive hit to lose. What they are returning is their 2-star receivers. And it's kind of one of those circumstances where I watched and graded both these guys, where I wonder a lot of it if a lot of that credit goes to Peyton. Because these guys are fine. Ty James and Devron Harper are fine. They're good quality players. And they're going to get an NFL look. But I believe that that it's going to be hard to recover from losing Peyton. Whoever
not rooting-
steps in.
I'm not rooting anything out of the SoCon. I never will, because everyone that we say is going to have this is the team to watch. Like we already prefaced it. It never goes how you think it's going to go. It's always a conference with one team either continually staying on top that we're going to doubt, or one team that comes out of nowhere and just shocks everyone. Let's see what Ty James does here. Oh, that's a great catch. No, he's a talented wide receiver. He's talented enough. He's talented enough to beat 90% of the DBs in the FCS, is what I'll say.
Yes.
He's talented enough to do that. You have a guy like that, get him the ball. That should be your offense game plan.
Devon Harper's an interesting player because he's got some juice, but he is really freaking skinny. He is really light. And I'm wary on those guys that are 160 pounds. He had a pretty good game against Auburn. Ty James did not do as much against Auburn. I watched both of them play in that game. Devon Harper, again, he's got juice. Like he's got a little bit of burst to him. He's going to be, I think, a really good kick returner if he gets that opportunity. But just the thin frame thing for me, unless you're Devontae Smith, I just can't, or Tank Dell, I can't really back it.
Here's what I'll say. I don't know how many athletes listen to this show. I know we've had people reach out and say that they do in the past. But if you're an athlete, your highlight tape should look more like a huddle tape than it does like an Instagram reel, because all the quick cuts and the edits, they look sweet and it's great for your social media, but your actual highlight tape needs to show start of the play, end of the play, no quick cuts, no light flickers, none of that.
You should
stuff.
run a class. You should totally run a class.
It's just something that athletes should do. They should not, if you're going to do it, their
damn agent should do it.
I know, but it's something they should be aware of, is that when people, and you will watch more film than I do, right?
Yeah.
But you have access to the real film. If you didn't have access to the real film, you would prefer the real film to the montage clips, everything super swaggy, right?
No.
For grading?
For grading purposes, but at the same time, if I can't get the all 22, I don't care. I'm not going to sit there and like try to watch a broadcast footage. So like, if I get their highlights, I might as well have some fun.
I don't believe you.
Because if I know I can't get the film, because I know I can get the film, so it's a little different of a perspective for me and you. Like if I can't actually watch the tape, I'll just flip on the highlights and see what the highlights are like.
I gotcha. Here,
I don't make a decision based on highlights, but it's just like, okay, if I'm not going to put a grade on this kid because I don't have his film and I can't get reliable, good film or enough games.
Just humor me real quick with what I sent you. Just humor me real quick and let me know if this is difficult or not for you to say, hey, you obviously, if you're good enough to have a highlight film like this, then congratulations, you're good enough to have it.
We're off to a tough start where it's a lot of solo shots. I mean, his boy probably hooked him up. I mean, he's probably got a buddy who's like, hey man, you want me to cut together your highlights so I can.
It's great for exposure, but for regular Joes like us who will hear a name and then go look it up and see, it's tough. Whereas
this is vertical too.
Yes.
Who edited this?
Just tell me what you can actually see from that. The first highlight, I said, okay, that's
He's
very
got a good
good
celebration. That's what I can see.
It's very good sellies, but and it's great to hype yourself.
There's a lot of cutaways when he's like about to make the catch, and then you just not really seeing it.
My frustration level will skyrocket if I see the highlight go from the quarterback releases the ball, jump cut, it's in the receiver's hands.
Yeah,
what do I do with that?
Yeah,
what do I do with that?
That's a good point.
Right.
By the way, last thought on Ty James, though. One of the reasons why I'm a little wary on Ty James is that if you look at his stats, it's very deceptive. He was a fat stat participant, I believe. He had a lot of like okay games. He had a couple big like good games, like 100-yard or so games, but a lot of like 60-yard games. A lot of games where he didn't really do anything, which is concerning to me against FCS opponents. And then against Furman, I think it was Furman the last game, he had 350 yards. So it's really juiced because he was playing, Timmy from Furman, who should not have been on the field. Walk on Timmy, who was
walk on Timmy, no,
was thrown out there for senior day or whatever. I see. This is the Furman guy is going to kill me for these comments. But this is why
Our
I wasn't
team
high
had
on
COVID.
Furman.
Our team had COVID. We couldn't walk on. Timmy had to play.
Actually, the first 2 starting corners were academically ineligible for the game.
They
so they weren't
transferred
able
to
participate.
Florida mid-season because now they're going to get drafted 1 and 2
They
overall.
were called up. They were called up to AAA, so they weren't available for the game. So we had to go with a walk-on. One of the Water Boys was playing corner. They also had a video guy playing safety, so that was why Ty James had such a good game. God, this guy hates. It's all love. It's all love. He owns part of my brain. That's all that matters.
Could you imagine freaking Zach Fanara playing defensive end?
Well, by the way, we're wrapping at this before we get to something that Dan my man sent us. Do you know how many video guys? I don't know how many you talked to. There were a lot that I talked to that were like, Coach Flanagan told me that if I do film for the spring, then I'll get to walk onto the team, and then they never suited up. It's like, oh, okay. So who was lying here? Was it Coach Flanagan or was it you?
I would say you, not Coach Flanagan.
By the way, if we're talking about other teams though and what they can do in the SoCon, I got to be completely honest. This is we talked about how some of the other conferences don't have a lot of depth. Look, VMI doesn't scare me. ETSU doesn't scare me. Wofford doesn't scare me. West Carolina doesn't scare me. I will at least concede, and you can agree with this. The Citadel, even when they're not good, can somehow scrap together a good year because of the triple option.
They're entertaining. I'll always root for the triple option.
Yes, and the FCS Fan Nation radio guys. We always will root for them just for that. That's the whole reason. All right, Sean, you want to get something fun here? Okay, so if anyone happened to notice, of course I closed it on my phone. I tweeted about the fact that I got new bookshelves. I bought these bookshelves after a very long time of not having a backdrop. I had a barren white wall. And I tweeted, what should I put on my in this bookshelf? Because there's nothing here. I don't own that many books. I don't read that quickly.
Nobody's really ever done this bit where they get bookshelves, put stuff behind them before either. So this is a unique idea.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah. Shut up. I'm trying to fill it out though. I'm trying to have some good gags in there. I got Hendon Hooker's beans that he gave me.
Yeah. You keep on talking about the beans, man.
It's a good bit. It's a good bit. It's got brought up multiple times. It's going to keep getting brought up because it's a good. Brought up. Shut up. It's late.
Oh, it's late. What is it? 7:00 for you?
It is 7:00 for me. Dan, my man, who is slowly creeping up as listener number 1, tweeted out. He suggested I just get a potted plant, and I said it feels too normal for me. He proceeded to follow it up with a Notes app screenshot of a list that he wants to for me to put on this bookshelf. Let's read through it. A collection of bookshelf knickknacks weirder than a potted plant is the way that this starts.
I like that.
A toxic waste candy container. I don't know what that is.
I know what it is.
Is it a type of candy?
It's sour candy. I know you don't do good with sour candy.
Oh no, I like sour candy. I just didn't do well with the Warhead.
It's very much similar to a Warhead.
Okay, then
they're good, but they'll burn your tongue up. They're good. I still think Warhead's number 1 in sour.
This one I like. A ceramic vase labeled Sean's Ashes.
Hey man, not huge on that.
I like that idea. That one's clever.
It's clever.
Yes. And an amiibo of, I'm definitely misreading that, of Princess Peach wedding dress version. What is that? Is that some weird sex thing that I'm missing here? Is that some are you looking it up?
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, I'm looking it up. I'm going to keep reading. A glass eye. That's not going on there. That's weird. 3 of the 7 dwarves, which is oddly specific. Weapons grade plutonium, non-candy version. Dan, do you know can you hook me up with any of that if you're going to suggest that? A tape dispenser. I mean, that's quite simple. A copy of Hoodwinked. I kind of like that. I think if I stuck that between the books,
is an awful movie.
It is a great movie. Don't shit on Hoodwinked. I think if I threw that up there and snuck it between the books, I think that would be a really fun. Like if I were to put a random weird movie, that one would fit.
That I just sent you
this is
I think you should get that actually.
No, this is weird. there's something sexual about this, and I can't put my finger on it. The Princess Peach thing is a deny. I'm denying that one. Some Pop-Tarts. I recommend brown sugar cinnamon.
Those are top two. I go frosted strawberry.
But if I put the box of Pop-Tarts on there, that's actually not a bad idea. I don't mind the box of Pop-Tarts idea. I think that's like a weird, goofy gag.
Here's the thing. The box of Pop-Tarts is so less entertaining than the actual foil from the Pop-Tart. Like, it's just a stupid blue box, and then you see the foil. It's nice and shiny.
But then it just looks like I casually, accidentally left a Pop-Tart on my bookshelf. I guess that's the point. Right?
You've never done that before?
No, I have not. I don't frequent Pop-Tarts like you probably do.
Oh, you suck.
Some confidential documents.
Okay.
I don't know. Where does one procure some confidential documents?
Mar-a-Lago?
A stuffed bird. No preference, apparently. What FCS teams are birds that we could...
Oh, boy. The Redbirds? Illinois State?
Or SEMO. We can do SEMO.
Okay, let me think. The Blue Hens? If you get a Blue Hen up there...
Oh, I could get a Blue Hen. I like the Blue Hen idea.
What's Monmouth? Are they the Battlehawks?
Yeah, they are. Monmouth might not be about. I think the Blue Hen's a little bit more distinct, but it might not be a good idea because we're technically rivals with them. So like that's
North Dakota has a good bird. Not North. Obviously, the University of North Dakota. That green bird.
They're the Fighting Sioux, the North Dakota. No. No, wait. You're right. They changed from the Fighting Sioux to.
Are you thinking? Yes, North Dakota's got a really good bird.
Well, I don't know what the name of their mascot is now. Now that I think about it, very caught up. This one I actually can do. I have some, I got for Christmas, he says some nice socks. I got for Christmas some Hugo Boss socks, and I haven't even taken them out of the box because I don't dress nicely. Yeah. So like I've never needed to wear them. So I could. I mean,
your Hugo Boss socks. But the North Dakota is the Fighting Hawk. This thing rules.
Is there a stuffed version of it?
Oh, let me see here.
1 or 2 gavels, which is, again, oddly specific.
2.
A Santa hat with an exclamation point. Again, very, very specific.
That stinks.
A framed photo of a loved one or Pat Sajak. I don't know if I want Pat Sajak on there. A nice feather quill and inkwell. I think that serves better on the desk than on the
make
bookshelf.
A mess.
Shot glasses. I already have my Howard University beer mug, so we're not going to do shot glasses too. We're winding down here.
What's a Shamaz glass?
What?
What's a Shamaz glass?
Shot glasses.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Shot glasses. You're the worst. Some of those wind-up chattering teeth. I kind of like it. That's so cliche. I kind of like it. That's so cliche.
You should get a Mr. Potato Head and put on the fake eyes and nose disguise with the mustache, and then the chattering teeth in his mouth. I would like that if you created a
you know what?
A mongoloid Mr. Potato Head.
So you don't know this. My dad has a disturbingly large Mr. Potato Head collection. They're all packed away since we moved. It's a disturbingly large. It's a very, very large, because for the longest time they started releasing the Mr. Potato Heads, like the Star Wars ones.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody sent him one as a gift, and then he started buying them up himself.
Does he have like the Simpsons one?
He's got a lot of them. He's got like all of the Marvel ones, all of the Star Wars ones. He's got every weird one that you can find. It turned into an obsession. A very weird bit. But honestly, now that I think about it, I think if this was only Mr. Potato Head, that might be the best bit for the bookcase. If we just every level was Mr. Potato Head. It was just across Mr. Potato Head.
I've met your dad before.
He doesn't seem like a Mr. Potato Head guy.
Your dad is a suit.
He's not a suit.
He's a suit. And I'm saying that in a fine way. Like that's just professional. He's capable, knows what he's doing, confident, suit.
Okay.
Not a Mr. Potato Guy collector.
Don't hate on.
I'm not hating. Now you're hating on Mr. Potato Head. I'm getting the onion. He is now an onion. He's got the layers now. Interesting.
I mean, you've known me long enough to know that I'm not fully normal, so it's...
You're disturbed, though. I didn't know that was a gene that got passed down.
Last 2. A computer mouse, and then a cataclysmic event. That one, I don't know what we do with that. Does he quite literally mean the figurative word? Isn't that what that is?
Well, Joe has a cataclysmic event during the show when a fly walks in, so that should be happening pretty regularly. I mean, you could call that the swarm of locusts. It's a pretty good list. I like the list. I like the
it's a good list.
suggestions. It's a good bit. Your bookshelves looked good enough where I had to question who built them. So congratulations on the good backdrop.
Yeah.
So who built them?
I built them. It took me 2 hours.
That's too long.
It's too long. It's 2 bookshelves. 2 fully
Where'd you get them from?
IKEA.
Too long.
2 hours to put together. It was an hour and a half, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 large bookshelves that are 7 feet tall.
Would you have a
Our
ladder?
listeners are no, I didn't have a ladder. I built it on the ground. You think I was like stacking it?
Maybe you would have gone faster.
That's not how you build a bookshelf. Holy hell. Joe DeLeone, Sean Anderson. Enjoy the rest of your week, folks.
Hack City on YouTube.
Hack City on YouTube.
God, get a plug.